Hi guys, so yesterday the prices were launched for Beachbody UK and there was quite a lot of sort of anxiety, unrest, disappointment, confusion because the prices were more expensive than what a lot of people thought they were going to be. Myself included, I'll hold my hands up, I was disappointed. You know, I've gone from being a dual income flat, for want of a better word, to breaking up with my partner and just having to pay all the bills myself. So I'd already made quite a lot of sacrifices and cut a lot of luxuries out of my life. So to then think, right, I've got to cut a few more out to be able to afford it was difficult. But made the decision to fully commit to this. I've made the decision to make a go of this, and once I've committed to something, I'm going to go for it. So I just had to do a bit of self-auditing, thinking, right, that's okay, I just can't afford that new coat I was going to buy, that'll just get put off for a bit. But I also get that there's those people who have made all those sacrifices anyway. Those are the sacrifices they make on a daily basis just to pay the bills. So maybe if you're one of those, it's maybe not your time right now. Maybe you need to do a bit of saving. Maybe you need to get yourself in that place where you're more comfortable with spending that kind of money. One of the people that I love to follow is Gary Vaynerchuk, and one of the things he's been doing all year is what he calls a garage sale flip. Now the idea with this is, obviously garage sales is quite an American term, but it sort of works over here as well, is that he is really adamant that anybody can raise the funds they need to start the business. That's by buying things very cheap and then just selling them on for a tiny bit of profit and keeping doing that. I'd really recommend you going, if you need that sort of extra, if you're thinking, I can't quite, with my work, with my income, I can't quite make it work, I'm short by 20 quid, I'm short by 30 quid, this is an ideal thing for you to look at doing. Now, it's work, it's hard work, it means getting up for us, I suppose car boots when they're usually on a Sunday sometimes, getting up at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning with 20 quid, say, going to your local car boot, and I mean like scouring it for the bargains, don't just pick up any old crap that's about, you know, look for, you know, branded clothing, themed collectibles, and then you've got to you've spent your 20 quid and you've got your 10 items, however many it is, you've then got to come back, you've then got to list them on eBay or Facebook or wherever you're going to sell them, and then photograph them, list them, do all of that hard work. And that's a bit, that's why people don't do it. It is possible to make an extra 50 quid to 100 quid, 200 quid a month by doing that, but it will take up a lot of time and people don't want to do that. And that's when I'm sort of thinking about the book that I'm listening to, 10X by Grant Cardone, something like that, where he talks about 10X effort, massive effort, and that's the level of effort that most people won't go to. And I think that can be linked into where a lot of people are like, well, I can't make this successful because I don't know anybody who'll spend that kind of money. I'm never going to be able to find those people who spend that kind of money. And his attitude to success is anybody can be successful. It doesn't matter what your skills, what your talents are, what your knowledge is. All that matters is action and effort. So if you don't succeed at something, it's not because you're a failure, it's not because you're not able to, it's because you underestimated the amount of action and the amount of effort you needed to put in. So he talks about 4 levels of effort, 4 levels of action, and most people function at what's normal level of action. So what that means is, and he calls that the most dangerous level because it's what society tells us is normal. So what we do is I'll go back to the car boot example. Well, nobody else has to get up at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning and work all Sunday to go get some extra money, and I'll end up with an extra £10. That's ridiculous. That's like 6 hours of work for 10 quid. That's not normal. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else is getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, working for 2 hours before they go to work. So people don't do it. People just think, well, no, that's crazy. That's workaholic level. You know, that's not normal. You know, you'll burn yourself out. But what they fail to realise is that all those people that they inspire to be like your Gary Vaynerchuk, you know, your successful business people, your successful fitness people, are all putting it in that level of effort and that level of action, and that's how they've become successful. They haven't become successful because they're good salespeople, they haven't become successful because they've got the knowledge, they haven't become successful because they're pretty, because they look good, or any of the other reasons. They've become successful because behind the scenes what you don't see is that they are working and working and working. And so I was thinking about the amount of sort of free content that a lot of people put out there, and I think that's a direction that I'm probably going to go in myself. For example, I'm running a 12-week till Christmas fitness group, and there's about 7 of us in there, and I would say that I know the 6 girls that are sort of ones that I brought in from Instagram. They haven't got the money to be able to afford Beachbody products. I know they don't. I might get a one on demand from them, but that's not why I'm doing it. Is I genuinely like these girls, and I want, there's one that's a uni student. She suffers with anxiety. She's been trying really hard with her fitness, and I genuinely just want to help her. So I'm providing that free support, that free help, and that free group for her to be able to achieve her goals. And yeah, it is a business. Beachbody is a business. And I guess you do want to make money from it, but for me, I'm going to focus on just putting a load of free content out there, running my free groups, providing really worthwhile stuff on my blog, in my videos, things that will help people. And the idea is that even if you reach 100 people that can't afford it, if you provide value to them, they'll tell 100 people, and then that's how it works. I like the example of James Smith. If you don't know who he is, he's quite a big guy in the fitness industry. He's Marmite, shall we say. He swears a lot, he's quite rude, but some people love him, some people hate him. But he provides really useful stuff. Don't agree with everything he says, not by a long stretch, but he knows his stuff, and he's really helping people lose weight. Now, James puts a ton of free stuff out there. I think he's up to 100,000 followers on Facebook now, and up till recently the only thing he was selling was sort of online one-on-one sessions, so he didn't have that many to sell, so he was just pouring this free content out there without wanting to gain anything back. He was just, that's what he was doing. He's since set up his academy, which is like 20 quid a month to join. Now, I follow James. I like all his free content, but I am never going to pay £20 a month for the content in the academy. I'd rather go out and research it myself. I'm learning to become a PT myself. I'm not going to do that. But if somebody said to me, I really want to understand more about calories, understand more about macros, I want to learn to lift weights in the gym, I would, without a doubt, recommend they go into the academy. So although he's providing free content that I'm consuming, that I'm never going to give him any money, my recommendation to somebody else might get him a paying client. And that's how we should be thinking about the stuff that we're putting out on social media, the stuff that we're putting out on blogs, the stuff that we're putting out on videos. It doesn't matter that 90% of the people that you're reaching aren't going to buy from you. They might, but if they think you're motivating, they think you're helpful, they think you're supportive, then they will tell other people. And there's market out there that we know there is. There's people that spend hundreds of pounds on clothes. There's people who spend money every day on lunches, on coffees, all of that. We know that there is people who can afford to spend the money on Shakeology, to spend the money on Beachbody On Demand, and who also want to change their lives like we do. So there's a market for coaches. But if you can just focus on putting your free content out there, speaking to people, just talk to as many people as possible. It doesn't matter if after the first conversation you think they haven't got the money. They might not do, but their best friend might have, or their mum might have, or their sister or brother, whoever it is. Just focus on being the best coach you can be and helping people in the best way you can, and the rest will sort itself out. Put that effort in, put that action in, put your 10x effort in, and success will come. You just need to success means is that you've effectively estimated the amount of action and the amount of effort you need to put in. If you don't get to successful straight away, then you just need to reevaluate how much action and how much effort you need to put in. So after a slight disappointment yesterday, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling excited. I know what I need to do, I know what I need to focus on, and I am ready to go.